Hello everybody, I'm Sanji. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time stopping by, thank you so much. I appreciate your checking me out. And if you have been here before and you know the drill, I want to take this time to personally thank each and every one of you. I appreciate your time. I know that you can spend it anywhere in the world. And the fact that you choose to spend some with me definitely does my heart good. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the next video. So for those of you that are new around here, all I ask, a couple of things. Check the video out. Make notes as you need to, because we're all here to just learn about each other. And then at the end of the video, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe, share, like, but most importantly, leave a comment. That's right. I want to hear your thoughts because, as I said, we're all here to learn and share. I give you my viewpoints on the subject matter, but of course, this is you, this is your life, and your experiences matter also. So we're here to learn from each other. Okay? So you got it? Just remember in those comment sections, please be kind to each other, respect each other's points of view, even if it's different than yours. Okay? Alrighty, so let's get into it. This video is about how to argue with your mate based on the sun sign. Now, it doesn't have to just be about a mate. It can be how you can have a heated discussion with a friend or family member. But this is really the goal of the video, is to help you effectively communicate with that other person, okay? Now, every sun sign has a different strategy for how they go about dealing with confrontation and conflict, okay? Now, some sun signs, that was a tongue twister, will avoid it altogether. They will avoid confrontation like the plague. They don't like it, they don't want it, and they're out of here. But there are other sun signs that they welcome it. They also might invite it in because they just like the energy and the exchange. So the point of this video is to help you navigate if you are one of those people that you avoid it like the plague, but your mate happens to enjoy mixing it up a little bit, okay? The problem here is that when those instances happen in our relationships with other people, it can also be the detriment of the relationship. I mean, if you have a partner that they just enjoy the drama of heated exchanges, that can be a little exhausting, even if you think the world of that person. Well, with a little astrological understanding and some conflict strategy resolutions, you can get your point across to your mate in the most effective way. And in some instances, not only will your partner hear what you're saying, I'll teach you how to win the argument. Now, clear communication is essential and the bedrock of any strong relationship, friendship, okay? Without communication, you're not going to go very far because chemistry is only going to go so far. But even in chemistry, there has to be effective communication, okay? And people actually associate the way you communicate with the type of person that they think that you are. For example, if your approach to conflict is to immediately fly off the handle because you don't think that you're being heard, well, those around you will label you a hothead. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. But wouldn't it be better for people to understand where you're coming from so that they can hear your point of view as opposed to repelling the moment that they think that you're in disagreement? Because nothing goes anywhere. We have people that perhaps are quite strong in their delivery of their opinion. Doesn't mean that they're angry or that they're bullying you. They just may have a strong way that they deliver it. Well, if you're one of those people, you too can check out the video to perhaps soften your delivery so that people can receive what you're trying to say, okay? And did you know that by delving into your astrological sign or the astrological sign of the other person, perhaps your boss, you can definitely figure out a more effective way to communicate and be heard, okay? So now keep in mind, your sun sign is not the only determinant of how you handle conflict and conflict resolution, okay? You would have to look at the person's entire birth chart to get them figured out pretty much to a science. However, it can help, okay? You also want to take a look at a person's Mars sign. So you want to look at your Mars sign and the Mars sign of your partner or the person that you're trying to better communicate with, and that will give you an idea really on how to get through to the problem if this is an issue that is really concerning you, because a person's Mars sign rules their assertive and driving force behind their actions and their feelings. Your Mars sign is your verb, so that's what's your call of action. But we can take a look at the sun sign, and the sun sign will give us some clues on how to navigate conflict with that person, okay? All the 12 zodiac signs have their own specific way of communicating with other people, in particular, their partners, okay? So sit back, let's get ready. Let's take a look at how the sun sign for each person can be better understood and how you can take the knowledge of how they communicate and be heard more effectively. And if you play your cards right, win the discussion. Okay? So get your pens and paper ready. Let's get into it. Let's talk about how your sun sign has an argument. And if you're involved with that person, how you can score a win. Stay tuned right after this. How to win an argument against a Scorpio. Ooh. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about how to argue with a Scorpio. Well, Scorpios are private and passionate people. They don't really want to fight with you, to be honest. I mean, people, yes, is fight in Scorpio? Absolutely. Will Scorpio take it to you? Without a doubt. Would they rather be making love or having fun? Yes, they prefer to be doing that. So, Scorpio isn't the one that's going to actually seek you out for a fight. However, if a fight is what you want, a fight is what you're going to get. Scorpios prefer to keep a tally of every time you mess up as an excuse to cut you off without explanation once they've had enough. As I said, Scorpios really not there to fight with you. They're here for a good time, perhaps not a long time, okay? It's on Scorpio's time table. So they observe a lot of things. You may have gone about things and you have messed up quite a few times, and Scorpio didn't bother to say a word to you about it. They made a mental note of it, put it in their little pocket square about you, because every Scorpio has one about the person that they're dealing with. They just make observations about you, long, deep, interesting observations. Everybody knows the Scorpio is watching you, even when you don't know he's watching you. He's paying very close attention. So you mess up too many times with a Scorpio, and a Scorpio hasn't decided that they want to invest in you. All they're going to do is you get to a certain number, whatever their number of mess ups is, you get there, you're cut off. That's how it is. It's not going to change. That's who they are. That is unless they're really digging you. They love you. Now, if a Scorpio has invested themselves in you, they're not going to ghost you. They're going to have this little tally sheet, and what happens is when you get to that number, then they let you have it. In a big way. Let's talk about it. Now, once you're in a Scorpio's inner network, they're going to listen to you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to argue with you passionately and compassionately, but it's going to be rational. They're doing it to get somewhere. It's not just, they need a lot of rah-rah noise. They need the drama. Although a Scorpio would prefer drama and working it out over the silent treatment. They don't like that silent treatment. They consider that unproductive. So you want to get to a Scorpio, give them the old silent treatment. Works like a charm. Of course, if they don't care anything about you, they're going to thank you for closing your mouth and leaving them alone. So only try that silent treatment if you know for sure you're important to your Scorpio. Alrighty, moving on. Now, if your relationship isn't quite there yet, as I said, don't try that trick. Tough luck, it's over. But we're not talking to those people because the argument's already been lost. We're talking to you that Scorpio has decided you are the apple of your eye, or you're working with them, or they're a member of your family, so you can't exactly throw them out of the genetic gene pool. So let's talk about how you resolve the conflict with the Scorpio. Well, the first thing that you should know is that if you screw over a Scorpio, don't expect for them to ever forget it. Never. I typically tell people don't say never ever, but if you're dealing with a Scorpio, yeah, they're never going to forget it. They're never going to let it go. It's always going to be there. Yeah, and they'll probably bring it up. I was going to say, even if they never mention it again, but it's a Scorpio. Yeah, they're going to mention it, and they're not going to let it go, and they're not going to let you forget that you screwed them over. If it's really bad, they'll never talk to you again, even if you're a relative. Okay? It's that deep. A Scorpio if they hate you forever. It's for life. So don't do it. Please, I beg of you. All right? Scorpios are famous for ghosting people, holding grudges. And as I said, when is the grudge over? In death. If they come back, gonna hate you in the next life too. That's just how it is. They're intense, I tell you. It's just their nature. All righty? But when they commit to you, okay, they are loyal. They'll fight for the death for you. They are in it to win it with you. They don't go their way. They're going to get in the trenches. They're going to be there for you. You can count on Scorpio. They fight to keep their unions intact. It is not over until Scorpio says it's over, and Scorpios fight to the death. So know that about them, that, if you didn't make it to the inner circle, sorry, sucks to suck. Consolation prize at the door. However, if you are an inner circle, inner sanctum person with Scorpio, they are going to stick it out. They're going to try to fix it, whatever it takes. Now, mind games, half-truths, and fancy leaps of logic are not going to work on Scorpio. You need me to say that again? Your mind games, your half-truths, your fancy leaps of logic, you're tricking it around, your psychology class 101. No, not going to work. They're going to listen. They're going to see what you're doing. They might laugh at you. Oh, yeah, like audibly laugh in your face. And then tell you, nah, that's not going to work out, okay? Worse than just laughing in your face, they're going to lose some respect points from them there, and they're going to argue with you, and then you're not going to have a chance, because then they're going to decimate you. They're going to make it their business because you tried to play with them. Okay, so don't play with a Scorpio. Don't try the trickery. Don't try to they say something and you take their words and turn them around on them, because then you're going to get the other side. You're going to get the wrath of Scorpio. And chances are you're not ready. You're not ready. Especially if it's your first time. You for sure are not ready. Just tell the truth, okay? Listen to me. Just tell the truth from your point of view, all of it, even the uncomfortable parts, okay? Because they already know it's there. I told you, Scorpio's always paying attention. Even when they're pretending that they're not paying attention, they're paying attention, okay? So you might as well just go ahead and spill it. Express your real feelings, what your motivations are, even if they're selfish. Say it. For Scorpio's going to respect your candor. They like that. They consider you having moxie when you do that. So spill it all, every bit of it, even the dirty, ugly, nasty parts. Say that too. Don't try to sugarcoat it. They don't need it. They don't want it. So get that off the table. Scorpios will always have their own agenda, okay? But they're listening to see if you're going to reveal yours, okay? They are people. They understand people. You need to know that about a Scorpio. They are very observant and intuitive, and they are watching you. It has been their entire time. Their purpose was to understand you, even the parts that you don't understand about yourself. So when you're coming to the table with this disagreement, unless you're blindsiding them, they already pretty much know what it was that got to you in the first place. But if you can argue with them honorably, they are more than likely to try to accommodate your needs as well as their own. Because Scorpios are also emotional. As I said, they don't really want to fight with you. They've got better things to do, like concern themselves with their money or having fun. That's who they are. So if we can get this thing taken care of, and if there's something that you need and it's not too outlandish and it doesn't go totally against what their own personal agenda is, Scorpio's gonna concede and let you have it. Just don't hide anything from them. Don't try to play them. Don't try to get over on them. Don't try to act like you're so much smarter than them, okay? Because they're very intuitive. As I said, they're going to figure out what you're doing, even if you get away with it at the time you're doing it, okay? They're going to double back because they're thinkers. Okay, they're brooders and they're thinkers, and they're going to think about that whole conversation. They're going to play it back, and they're going to catch it, okay? Because people tell on themselves. Okay, and the Scorpio's paying attention. He's listening. He or she is listening. And the second you slip up, the second you even come close to an admission that you were trying to get one over them, it is in the toilet for you, baby. It's over with. Don't play that game. That Scorpio's gonna feel as though they owe you one. In some way, shape, or form, you're gonna have to pay for that one. All right? So, to get your point across with Scorpio, it's better to suggest what it is you would like to see happen. Okay, they may even ask you because they don't want to belabor this fight. They will say, okay, what is it that you want? And you need to say it. When they ask you what it is you want and you're dealing with a Scorpio, please, for the love of God, say it. Just come on out. Don't sugarcoat it. Just bump. Practice that before you even go to approach the Scorpio with the fight. Know what it is that you want. So when they ask you, so what is it that you want? You say it. Okay? Just say it. A Scorpio is not going to tell you everything they're thinking about in the middle of a dispute. It's just an unrealistic expectation. They're private people. They like to weigh their own thoughts privately to themselves. But they're listening to you. Okay? But after they contemplate it, And don't be surprised by this. This is a very common Scorpio trait. You could be talking about something on Tuesday in July, the 3rd week, and the Scorpio heard you and you moved past it. Do not be surprised if you are talking about that thing 2nd week of October, okay? That's right. The thing you asked them about back in July that they said, didn't have much to say about it. Oh, 2nd week in October, they got lots to say. And you're going to listen. Because you asked them back in July. And they got time today. So that's really going to be the approach for it. So just know it's not over until it's over with Scorpio. And that's in all things. Okay? Yeah. You know that already. Okay. And if you don't, write that down. All right. Now, don't forget that a Scorpio is passionate. Okay? They are passionate people. So if the subject you need to talk about with your Scorpio is an awkward one, I would suggest you pick your spots. That's right. Let's not go into it in public, okay? Because a Scorpio doesn't care. If you're going to bring the fight to them in public, then they're assuming that you thought about the consequences. And if what you have to say makes them go off, they're going to go off right there, right in the middle of the grocery store. Yeah, pick your spots, my dear. So, if you know that the Scorpio you with can blow and they're going to lose their temper, you don't want to play that game of, oh, I'm going to tell them when we're out at the restaurant because, they won't lose it in front of everybody. Wrong answer. Not with a Scorpio. They do not care what other people think about them. So if you make the mistake of bringing up a sensitive subject out there in the middle of Times Square, New York, if this is where you want to do the dance, Scorpio's going to dance with you. So pick your spots. Be smart about it. If it's something that you don't want the rest of the world hearing, save the conversation for home. Alrighty. So how do you win? Well, you can win an argument with a Scorpio in a variety of different ways if you really want to. If a Scorpio's into you, they love you, they want you to be happy. So they will concede on a lot of different things, as long as it doesn't make them the butt of the joke or they feel as though they've been manipulated or played. If they're not going to feel that way about it and it's not that big of a deal to them, Scorpio will let you have it, because they have their own agenda that they're working towards. So if it doesn't get in the way of what they want, go right ahead, okay? But you need to understand that winning an argument with a Scorpio can be punishable by death if the way in which the way that you want it was manipulative or by lying. Okay? You don't want to make an enemy out of them in order to one-up them because they will never forget it. Never. That's right. Never, ever, ever. So just don't do it. Or you'll win the argument and you'll never see them again. They'll cut all ties with you. And that's the end of the road for you. So, weigh your options with them. And Scorpio is really the sign that you can be honest with them. So there's no reason for why, even in the disagreement, you just don't say what you need to say, get to what you would like to be done, open it up for a fair and negotiative process. And typically with Scorpio, it can happen. Okay? So say what you need to say and then let it go. That is all. That is how you win an argument with a Scorpio. Doesn't sound like you won. But you did. They don't hate you for life. They're not gunning for you forever. There's not a revenge factor. They still love you. You're still speaking. You won. I'm serious. You won. What can I tell you? There's a lot of parts to the Scorpio mind and the Scorpio personality, and you just got to take it layer by layer, one step at a time. But as I said, follow my advice. The best advice when dealing and arguing with the Scorpio, be honest, be direct, don't play games, no half-truths, don't sugarcoat it. Just say what you need to say. Make the suggestion about how you would like to see it resolved. Then take your hands off it and let the Scorpio meet you at the table for the negotiation to make the happiness happen. And if they tell you it's not going to happen and they're pretty adamant about it, then, then the decision's yours. Is it something that you can live with or not? But hey, that's a whole nother video. I'll have to make that for you one day too. Alrighty, Scorpio, that's it. Scorpios are intense. A fight with a Scorpio can be quite intense. But you know that already, which is why you're watching the video. But there are plenty of people that live to tell it. Once you understand the Scorpio that you're with and how they think, how they work, how they operate, how they handle conflict, because it's unique to each one of them. Once you understand that and you follow the methodology that works for your relationship, do that. But across the board, the disingenuous, hidden agendas and all those other kind of things usually doesn't play well with Scorpio. So they're the sign that you want to try to keep it as honest as possible, even when you're faced with a Scorpio who isn't being honest at all. Yeah, another video. Alrighty, there you have it. So how do you win an argument with Scorpio? You just say what you need to say and you live to tell it the next day. I don't know. If you're a Scorpio and you'd like to help me out on how you've lost an argument or two in your lifetime, if I can get you to admit it, leave it down there in the comments section. I'll see you down there and I'll check out what it is you have to say. But just remember, if the Scorpio loves you, they're typically loving you for life, so no worries. You're going to get your way one way or another eventually. It just depends on how patient you can be. Until next time, I'm Sanji. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time.